On in, everybody. It's question and answer day, and I got 5 pages here. I think it's 5 pages. No, it's 4 pages. Okay, get on in here. Get on in here. I got some coffee. I really hadn't drunk much of my coffee this morning. I've been listening to Ezekiel. Wow, I didn't. I didn't get the last 7 chapters read yesterday, so I started reading them this morning. Ezekiel's a rough. It's rough. Anyway, to God be the glory. Let me get the chat up, get some people in here. We got California and Santa Fe. Yeah, tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're from. Justin's going to bring me all your Christmas cards in a little bit. Maybe I'll go over them this afternoon. So, good morning, everybody. We got lots to do on the road in Orlando. We know Sage is coming home from work. She's had a busy night. So y'all get on in here. let's just get, we got 40 people in here. Y'all get your calendars ordered if you don't have them yet. We're not going to be back in the office until January 2nd. So get your calendars ordered so you can be the first to get them. Florida, my knees are cold. Well, it was like 20 something degrees. Yeah, good morning, Buttercup. I said buckle up. Anyway, y'all, we got lots to do. Get your calendars ordered. All our Christmas sales will be going away in January. So if you get Christmas money, and you can still purchase stuff with Fly Shop. Never closes, y'all. It never closes. So get everything done. We still got 2024. It is going to be a great year because we're going to be able to open our doors to friends and family and take care of what needs to be taken care of. So let's just get ready. If you don't have our Fly Lady tools, get this pack, the complete pack. And it's got everything you need. And you may want to add in the feather duster right behind me, because that really makes dusting so easy. Okay, so let's get started. We got 55 people in here. Do you have any recipes for salad dressing? Something I can use in a pinch when I run out of what I buy at the store. Well, the old-time favorite that my Justin's Granny Elizabeth used to always make, she would take some mayonnaise and some ketchup, and she'd stir it together, and then she would put some sweet pickle relish in it. And you know what that was? It was Thousand Island dressing. One of the things I like to do is Robert likes these specialty jams and jellies on Sunday. That's his favorite thing to have for Sunday morning breakfast. I don't eat sweets like that. Now I'll eat his cookies, but he'll leave just enough in the jar that I can take a little balsamic vinegar, a little olive oil, and shake it in the jar. Just shake, 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 shake. And you got a vinaigrette, whether it's a raspberry jam or a blackberry, you got a vinaigrette, and you've got this, you've cleaned out the jar at the same time. And you don't even have to measure. You just put a little balsamic vinegar in there and maybe a little olive oil, and you've got this great dressing. Another thing you can do is make fresh mayonnaise with an egg yolk and some olive oil, and It's just a. I have gone to make my Thanksgiving um, salad, which is broccoli salad, and I didn't have any mayonnaise, and I had to make my own mayonnaise. And guess what? It works. It works. Added some balsamic vinegar because that's what I do in the recipe, and it worked out good. So drink up. We got lots to do now. If you like a creamy dressing, you can take some sour cream and some Parmesan cheese and some peppercorn and a little olive oil and mix it all up, and you got a Parmesan peppercorn. So there's recipes out there. You just make do with what you got. Make do with what you got. Trisha says, "Hello, I'm wrapping presents today. I've never wrapped this early." Well, that's great. You're not going to be doing it Christmas Eve. I don't do real cooking very much. Is there a way to hand wash a few spaghetti and meatballs, greasy stained dishes that won't gross me out and get me overwhelmed? Yeah, it's called Dawn dishwashing liquid. I love my Dawn Power Wash. I don't do any real cooking. Is there a way to hand wash a few spaghetti and meatball greasy stained dishes that won't gross me out? Well, if you've used plastic, you're going to stain them. You're going to stain them. But Dawn dishwashing liquid does a great job of cleaning dishes. I wouldn't use anything else. And the Power Wash has a little more oomph to it. I just got my new calendar this week, and I was wondering what are some of the things I should be adding to it, and where is a good place to keep it? It is really big and I love it. Well, wherever your family is most of the time. For me and Robert, my calendar stays in my bathroom. That's where I keep it. But most people like to keep it in their kitchen because they eat their meals in there. They sit down and they look up at you can get some magnets to put it on your refrigerator and clip magnets, or you can take a bulletin board and put it on a wall in your kitchen and put your calendar on the wall. Make a wall of fame for your calendar. So what things do I put on my calendar? Well, all the appointments you need. You know, when you make an appointment, like yesterday morning, Robert had to go to town and get his ears checked out, get his hearing aids checked out. And that goes on the calendar so that I know where he is. Yeah, but I got in bed early last night. Sister's telling off on me. She says I'm a night owl. I've always been a night owl. Let's see what else. Like our neighbors across the street are putting on a new roof, brand new roof on their house. We did that in 2018. And every year I take my old calendar and transfer things like we got a new dishwasher in 2022. Yeah, 2022. Got a new dishwasher. So I know when I transfer that every year from one calendar to the next calendar so that I can look and it's got a date beside it. When we did our driveway, I know when we put gravel on our driveway, that was in 2017. So it's been 5 years, almost 6 years. I know when we did it last. And this last guy that did it, I'm going to call him again because he did a great job of crowning everything just the way it needed to be done. And it hasn't eroded much at all. What else goes on the calendar? All your birthdays and anniversaries, those need to go on the calendar. Justin and Emily just had an anniversary on Tuesday, the 19th, I think it was. And they 25 years. 25 years. So transfer all those birth dates, and especially if you've got new people in the family, you need to get those birth dates on the calendars. Put your vacations uh, when you're going to be off work. Put those on the calendars. School schedules, that really needs to be on the calendar. That's why our calendar comes out in August. So you can get the whole school schedule right there ready to go. So, yes, it's a big calendar, but guess what? You can see it from across the room. If you use stickers, you can see the stickers from across the room, and just list these things. If you get our Fly Lady stickers, we've got zone stickers that you can put on your calendar. And right now we're in zone 4, next week we're in zone 5. Till let me get the calendar out. And I've been amiss. I haven't sent out the sneak peek last week or this week. You just had. Okay. So December 31st is on a Sunday. And January 1st is on a Monday. So we're going to have a full week in zone 1. That'll get our entrance and our front porch and our all ready to go. We'll have zone 5 cleaned up and zone 1, and we will be good to go. But get those things on your calendar. Start the new year off using your calendar. Get some colored pencils, get some address labels. 88 to a page does a really good job of fitting in the block if you make a mess. Or some people just like to take those address labels, and in fact, I'll probably replay that video in a marathon this weekend about how to use a calendar. And it's a great way to not be all hung up about making mistakes, because you can't use a Sharpie on your calendar. I also like to use, where are they? I know I have some here. I like to use stickers, and I like to use those little flags, those red flags that attorneys put on things to sign stuff. Well, if there's something important that has to be done, that's where you put that red flag that gets your attention. But you can also take the address label and put a frame around it in red with a Sharpie on the address label, and then that way you can see it from across the room. So those are the things that need to go on your calendar. I can find just about anything. You just flip through a few pages and you'll see it. Okay, what is fly washing and how does it help? Y'all, I do videos, I write essays. I do shorts on YouTube. And Justin puts them up on TikTok. It's like immersion class when you're learning a new language. Well, you're learning a new way to live, and we want to be in your face. That's why our apps just get a hold of you. You got a reminder coming out, especially on the Fly Lady Messenger app. Go check out the apps. A Fly Lady Plus app, that's my nephew's app, but Fly Lady Messenger, you have to pay a little bit for it, but you can take a discount on it, and it works well to stay in your face. Fly wash, you're learning a new way to live, a new language to life. So, y'all, let's get some stuff done. Get that calendar loaded up and ready. But the fly washing, you got the calendar. You're looking at the calendar. You've got it's going to change, and that's why. Oh, where's my book? Is this the book? Chaos to Clean and 31 Easy Baby Steps. We're doing this next month. We're going to go through this book, and if you don't have it, get it. Get it ordered. It'll be the first thing shipped out in January. Okay. So you just want to be everything fly lady. You want to watch our shows. Maybe you want to watch our marathons on Saturdays. Maybe you want to pull up the marathons and look at them. Look at the holiday missions. Yeah, we're getting ready to start some new ones for cleanup after Christmas is over. Christmas is Monday, y'all. Have you got all your groceries? How do you get the book? Well, it's on our website. It's in our fly shop. It's also on Amazon. You can get it two places. But if you buy it from us, I don't have to pay Amazon any money. Okie dokie. Page 1 down. Merry Christmas, Fly Lady. A new year is about to begin, and I'm starting Fly Lady routines now to get ahead of the year's commit and quit game. I want to stick with this. I am really good at starting things, but not so good at staying the course. That's typical. It's how we are. How do I make a good ideal a great habit for life? I want to have a clean and organized home and set a good example for my children. Well, first off, you're a perfectionist, and that perfectionism is what turns you into a poinsettia. Yep, a poinsettia. You get turned into a poinsettia because at Christmas time they're really pretty. I mean, Justin and Emily got married in a church that was covered in poinsettias. I think they added to them for the wedding, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, but after Christmas, they start dropping their leaves. You forget to water them, and that's where this Fly Lady immersion comes into play. So this is how Fly Lady was established. I realized I had never established a habit. In 1999, I set out on New Year's Day like every other red-blooded American female, and I said, I'm going to get organized. Quotation marks. I'm going to get organized. And you know what? I did it. But you know how I did it? I did it by not beating myself up when I made a mistake. See, she's already beating herself up. She doesn't want to fall into that trap she's always jumped in, being a poinsettia. I heard somebody else mention that. Patty mentioned this to me many years ago. Her gym she went to every 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, be real busy in January, but come February, there's nobody there. And she said, "What happened to everybody?" And the gym owner said, "It's Christmas. New Year's. They just want to start the year out right, and then it falls by the wayside because they've never established the habit." So how do you set up a new habit? What I realized on that New Year's Day when I took my Pam and Peggy cards, and that's the only system that had ever worked for me for any length of time. But when I skipped a day, it started gnawing at me, and I would stick my card file system under the sink, and so I didn't have to be nagged by it. Instead of just jumping in and doing things, I just didn't want to be nagged by it. So what I realized, I had never established a habit. Never. And by not establishing a habit, It doesn't stay with you. But when you establish the habit, so I picked one card. I made a list of everything I had to do every day. Did you know it was 50, over 50 items, 52 items? It was the front and back of a notebook piece of paper. And I looked at that and I said, there's no way I can do that. But on a good day, I did those things. I did all of those things, but I didn't even realize I was doing them. So I picked one item to start with. And guess what we start with in January? Same thing I started with, keeping my sink clean and shining. Why did I pick that? Because my sweet darling said, honey, if you'll keep one side of the sink clean, open pretty much, I'll make you coffee every day. And we'd only been married a couple of years. And I said, okay, I think I could do that. So instead of having a sink full of dirty dishes from cooking the night before and globs of grease floating on top, and instead of having that, I had a shiny sink when I would go to bed at night. And he'd get up in the morning and he'd fix himself a cup of coffee because we had this little espresso machine that would make one cup at a time. He would fix his cup. He'd get up and go to work because he was a judge for 20 years. And then I would get up and he'd have everything loaded, ready to go. All I had to do was turn it on. And while it was running, I would do the floors. I didn't have a Roomba back then. Now my Roomba's going and I'm happy. Patty'd get home and hers would be lost in the house somewhere. Anyway, it's going, it just changed everything. I realized that day that I had never established any kind of habit. I was flying by the seat of my pants. I didn't have any order to my cards. It was just willy-nilly. Whatever came up, if getting dressed to shoes came up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when I got dressed. Now that's not fun to hide behind the door when UPS shows up. It's not fun to stay hidden. Well, I realized that not only had I not ever established a habit, and a habit, psychologists tell us that it takes 21 days to establish a habit. Oh no, it doesn't. For my fly babies, it takes us a month. We need a whole month. We need grace. We need 10 days of grace. 10 days of grace. You got the 21 days. And what we do is if we miss a day, we jump in as if we hadn't and just keep going. Just keep going. And that's why we take one whole month to practice every habit. Now, the first habit is keeping your sink clean and shiny. And that clean and shiny sink, that was the only thing I had to do. Now, I still needed to get dressed. I needed to take care of me. But I kept that sink clean and shiny. And when you have a sink that is that pretty, and it was a 25-year-old sink. It had been there a long time because this was 1999 and Robert had built the house in 75. So the sink was crusty, not just from dirt, but we have hard water. And it was a mess. I'd take a chisel to it. But I got the sink shiny. And then from that point, the countertops got cleared. They got washed down. The stove said, clean me too. The dishwasher was cleaned up. It was old. Our appliances were old. And the floor, I'll never forget it. It was a yellow floor. It was a brick pattern of some kind, but it showed dirt like crazy. And I got down on my bottom and I scrubbed that floor and it looked like a brand new penny, all because that sink was shiny. Now I didn't crash and burn. I'd pace myself. By the end of the month, that sink was an avalanche of clean around the kitchen. Now it was a one butt kitchen, but it still was beautiful. It was beautiful to me. And that's how I established the habit of keeping that sink clean and shiny. February's habit was decluttering 15 minutes every day. That's it. Just get rid of some clutter. March's habit was getting dressed to lace up shoes. Now, I'm going to change the subject just a second here. Do you know what you're wearing Christmas Day? Have you picked your outfit yet? I've got some tights and I've got a purple shirt that I'm going to wear that's all glitter. Y'all love that shirt. That's my favorite thing to wear. I want glitter. I even put glitter on my fingernails the other day and I took it off last night. But I'm going to put my glitter back on my nails and I'm going to be ready to go. So getting dressed to lace up shoes is March. April, it's making your bed. Make your bed. May is moving your body, getting up and walking down the driveway, down the stairs a couple of times, doing what you need to do. June is drinking your water. Most of us are dehydrated. So drink your water. I have water that sits by my chair all the time, but I also drink water every time I go to the bathroom. Now Robert taught me that. Ugly Christmas sweaters. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's see what else. June, July is swish and swipe, your bathroom. August is doing a load of laundry every day. September is your before bed routine. October is getting rid of paper clutter. November is menu planning. Now, we have a basic weekly plan that helps us do all that. And December is pampering missions, taking care of you. So it's all about being kind to yourself in the process too. Don't beat yourself up. That's the two resolutions I made: to get organized and to be kind to me. Yeah, be kind to me because I hadn't been. What are the top 10 things that people fail to declutter? Top 10 things that people fail to declutter. Paper. They're scared somebody is going to steal their identity. That's the number one thing. Number two is cookbooks. They think they have to keep every cookbook. Number three, this is off the top of my head, it's clothes. You got clothes in your closet, and we're in our master bedroom this week, and the closet yells at you every time you go in your closet. Your fat clothes say, you love this, but you can't wear it anymore because you've lost weight. You need to get back in me. Or you've got skinny clothes that you're holding on to because you know you're going to get back down to that weight. Well, you're not ever. And when you hold on to them, they say ugly things to you when you walk in the closet. So get rid of clothes. Dishes. We got way too many dishes. Plasticware, Tupperware, Rubbermaid stuff. We got that out the wazoo. And you can't find the lids to it. So you got to declutter that stuff. I did some of that this past week. I don't know if I can come up with 10 things. But books. We don't want to let go of any books. Well, if you've read them and you liked them, pass them on to somebody else. Yes, clothes go out of style unless you wear a uniform that you make for yourself. I like black pants, black jeans, black whatever on the bottom, and I use different colored tops, and I can layer up. So clothes, college books. You don't want to let go of them. You paid big money for those books and you can't let go of them, but you're never going to look at them again. Now, I would keep a set of encyclopedias because I think your children and grandchildren, if you had a set of encyclopedias, they would love looking through them. That's how Patty and I learned everything we know practically. So getting rid of things is a big part of Fly Lady. We all have way too much stuff. I don't think I got to 10 things, but shoes. We can hold on to shoes, and whoever dies with the most shoes wins. No, you can't wear shoes to heaven. Okay. After shining my sink, what should I do next? I heard you mention the 31 baby steps. Where do I find those? Well, the 31 baby steps are on our website, but I wrote a book. This wasn't just me that wrote the book. We divided this book into um, parts, and 6 of us, and we each had five to do, and then I went over them, and we had a lot of fun with this book. But this just eases you into Fly Lady. We're going to be doing this in January. Get this book. It's on our website. It's in the Fly Shop, and it's also on Amazon. So after shining your sink, what do you do next? You start decluttering. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon. Don't spend all day decluttering, just 5 minutes, and 15 minutes a day. Okay, let's see. Fly Lady. Sometimes I think I'm a lost cause. Well, see, you called it down on yourself right there. Don't do that. Anything that comes after I am, you're declaring that on yourself. So you are worthy. I don't understand how to make my home stay clean. I can get it clean if I have company coming, like now at Christmas, but keeping it that way is the problem. I know you have several books. Would it help me to read them? Well, yeah, it's called immersion class. It would help you to read them. But the main thing is you don't have a routine. You don't have a routine that before you go to bed, you pick up and put away things that are out on those flat surfaces. It takes 2 minutes. You pick up the stuff in the floor. You have the kids take their toys to their bedroom or wherever they keep them. You don't have a routine for before you go to bed so that you wake up to a clean house. You're not, after Christmas is over, you've worked yourself to a frazzle and you say, pooey on this. I'm not going to pick up that. You're going to sit there and look at it and keep your butt on the couch watching movies. Get up, get dressed and lace up shoes, do your morning routine, do your floors, just a quick dust mop on your floors, or take your mop and wet it. You don't even have to sweep before you do it. And you're going to have a house that is maintained. You don't have to clean a maintained house. You're always about 15 minutes away from having company come to the door. As my clerk, I used to be a county commissioner. Some of you don't know that, but when I was a county commissioner, we had this clerk. Her name was Sandra, and she was so organized. And I was just in awe of her. I wasn't envious of her, but I sat down one day. We were having Thanksgiving at our house for the first time. And I said, Sandra, how do you keep your house clean? And she looked at me like I had 2 heads. And she said, Marla, it's real easy. You pick up after yourself. If you get it out, put it back where it belongs. Well, my problem was I didn't have a place where everything belonged. So I started putting things where I thought they belonged. And I even had to label places where I put things. And, it worked. Everything had a place, and I remembered this from Granny. Everything had a place and everything in its place. And y'all, if you were on here 2 days ago for our tea time, there was a wonderful lady in the chat, and I was talking to her as she was on Facebook, I think. She knew my granny. She loved my granny. My granny was married to her Uncle Frank, and she knew her. She loved her. Not like we loved her, but she was an influential person in her life. And just we friended each other on Facebook later that night, and we just reminisced. We reminisced. I used to play on her farm. It was just, it was a beautiful thing. But my granny taught me everything has a place and everything in its place. And you don't hide the place. Like when I redid the cabinets in the kitchen, I showed them to Robert. I said, here's your mixing bowls. Yesterday, he got in the kitchen and made some more cookies. I stay out of the kitchen when he's in there. But it was just a beautiful time. She loved my granny. Yeah, it would help you to read them, but don't delay starting Fly Lady because you hadn't read my books. That's perfectionism. Join our shows every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time for tea time. Now, that's a little bit more laid back. Sometimes I get to preaching. Now, we're going to go through the Chaos to Clean book in January and probably again in May. Get ready for summer. The Fly Lady routines are ingenious. They are so easy to do that anybody can do them. I was wondering, how did you come up with the whole idea? Well, I had followed Pam and Peggy, and they had this card file system, but the card file system didn't work for me for very long. My perfectionism would get in the way and I'd beat myself up. So, as I've already told you, it's just I started building routines. Routines are a series of habits, and we practice a habit each month, and we string them, we piggyback them together, and they become routines. And then as you do your routines, make your bed when your feet hit the floor, swish and swipe the bathroom, all this stuff, this becomes a routine. And then the whole routine becomes the habit. I think Liz said that once upon a time. The habits become routines, and then routines become the habits. And and the way I established those habits was building upon what was already working. So, shining my sink, that was part of my before bed routine, to shine my sink before I went to bed. Then when I got up in the morning, guess what happened? That shine on that sink, because that sink window faced sort of east and the sunlight came in, it would just play the routine song. Well, that's a good idea. Let me play the routine song. Let me see if I can find the routine song. Go back one. Here we go. This is a routine song.
First thing in the morning, I clear my head. I stretch and yawn to greet the day, then make my bed. Get myself all ready, down to my shoes. A healthy breakfast puts me in a rocking mood. Routines, routines, they keep me rocking. Routines, routines. There's no stopping me when I feel the power of my rockin' routines. After school or after lunch, I keep my cool. 'Cause afternoons have routines now, and that's my rule. Homework before playing, quickly get it done. After that, I'm out of here and off to have some fun. Routines, routines, they keep me rocking. Routines, routines. There's no stopping me when I feel the power of my rocking routines. Routines can organize my day, give me much more time for play, help me know what's coming next. I think routines are the best. With PJs on, I brush my teeth, time for bed. My last routine helps me relax and plan ahead. We close out for tomorrow, think about my day. So proud that my routines have kept me rocking on my way. Routines, routines, they keep me rocking. Routines, routines. There's no stopping me when I feel the power. When I feel the power of my rockin' routines. My rockin' routines. My rockin' routines. Of my rockin' routines. My rockin' routines.
Okay, everybody. Routines make it fun. I have been a flybaby now for over a year, and my house is decluttered. I have to admit that even my zones are in pretty good shape. Now, here's the problem. I don't know what to do with all my free time. I'm afraid if I don't come up with a plan, I'll let the house go back to chaos just to have something to do. Y'all, in 2000, I had had a year of routines, and our house looked good. And we decided to remodel, and I was scared to death that the house was going to fall back into the chaos. And I committed to keeping our bedroom clean. The guys were working at the other end of the house, and our house isn't very big. And I could go into the bedroom and take a nap. I had a fan that was that would make some white noise, and I could sleep with hammering going on in the house. Now, I was terrified that our house was going to fall apart, but guess what? You got a new house. I mean, we redid all the floors in the house. We did we had to go buy new furniture because we didn't have any furniture that was worth keeping, and we just updated everything a little at a time. Uh, not not all at once. We did it slow and steady, and it was a beautiful thing. It was lovely. It was nice. Fly Lady started in December of 1999. Fly Lady started. That became my, it wasn't work, it was a mission. And if you can teach Fly Lady, you can do it. And you have to stay on top of things. And so that became my purpose. It became my purpose was to guide you. That's when when I got my house in order, God handed me fly babies. He people started the first year there were 10,000 people. And now we have close to 1 million people. We have 700,000 on Facebook. We have another 100,000 on Instagram. And they're everywhere. And I got to reach them somehow, some way. And I'm going to be doing this till God changes my address. And I am happy to do it. I love doing it. So when you have this extra time because your house is practically you're on autopilot, your house is cleaning itself. Don't get all hung up wanting to change things or paint things, or you got to live with it a while and sit down and get into your Bible more. We got a Bible reading schedule up on our homepage. It's in the live section, and there's a whole reading schedule for the whole month of December, and I'll update it at the end of the month, and we're going to do it again in January. We're going to do it every month. We're going to update. We're going to do our readings in the Bible. Get into the Bible. Listen to it. Read it. Listen to it as somebody else reads it. There's lots of ways to try it. And then listen, then sit quietly and meditate on what you've read. And if God's got a purpose for you, and He has for everybody has a mission in this life to go and share the gospel. Go and share the gospel. But I never dreamed I would be Fly Lady. Not in a million years would I have ever dreamed that. The dog's barking. But once you get your house in order, quit being antsy and focus on the Lord. Get into the Word. Get prayed up, Bibled up, and readied up. And you're going to be blown away how God reveals Himself to you. Do you have any suggestions on how to keep the drama down while all the family is at my house during Christmas? Well, don't talk politics. Politics should be off limit unless you're all like-minded, like everybody at Batera's family. Uh, and, just concentrate on, it takes two people to argue. It takes two people to argue. Don't get sucked in. Don't get sucked in. Sandra wants to know, how many pets do I have? I have a dog and a cat. We used to have 4 dogs and 2 cats, but now we only have 1 dog and 1 cat. And Samantha, the kitty, she is 16 years old. Tulip, the puppy dog, she is 5 years old. Where is Tulip? Let me get a picture of Tulip. Look at that face. That's Tulip. She can make a mess. She tore the couch all to pieces. That's her dog bed, pretty much. I'm wanting a new couch, but I can do with that one for another couple of years. So, do you have any suggestions on how to keep the drama down? Just don't argue. If they're going to argue, they can go out in the yard and argue. Anyway, I think somebody just got here. I don't know. So, y'all, that's all our questions. Just don't argue. Put on some music. It's hard to argue over music, especially if it's happy music. Anyway, folks, y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for all the wonderful questions we had today. And your word will answer all the questions that we have in our lives. Just thank you for the word. Thank you for your prophets. Thank you for Christ who came to die for our sins. Thank you, Lord, for everything that you do for us. Keep things peaceful in our homes during these next few days. I know there's a lot of people coming in, a lot of people traveling. Keep my sister and Phil and everybody safe as they travel to where they're going. God, you are so good to us. Thank you for our happy homes. We may not have a whole lot, but we're going to be thankful for what we have. Thank you for the Christmases that we didn't have very much. And thank you for how you humble us. You gave us the best gift of all, your son. And you get all the glory, Lord. All these things we ask in Jesus' holy name. Amen and amen. I heard a great testimony this morning. A young woman with a 2-year-old. It was sent to me. She has COVID, and the baby woke up with sore throat and ears and all kinds of stuff. Well, last night she put some Vicks on him, and she prayed over him all night long. Prayed over that baby. You know, he got up this morning singing. That was what she said. He got up singing. And he's just playing and having a good time. And he's healed. And she's much, much better. You know, we got to get our focus off of ourselves and turn it to somebody else. So, y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Be good to yourself, but mainly be kind to yourself in the process. We are our own worst enemy many times. We bring curses down on ourselves by the words that come out of our mouth or our fingertips. Stop it. I love you all. Let that joy and sweetness that is in your heart just overflow and show the world who you are. Child of the Most High, the only living God in the universe. You can do this. I love you all. I'll see